Hello crypto legends, the price of Bitcoin is not looking that great. We had a massive rejection from all-time high, creating that nasty double top, and the bears are in control for the last few days. However, the bulls still have a chance. We need to talk about the bullish case scenario. What levels need to be reclaimed to be confident for new all-time highs? And if this doesn't happen, we're likely going to break down and go to lower prices, even going down to the low 100K levels. I'll be breaking down everything, guys, and I'll be leaving the timestamps down below so you can actually see the different scenarios. I just want to let you know that I'm no longer in any big swing trade position. This was the latest one from a few weeks ago that was targeting all-time high and managed to profit from this very, very nicely. I missed the short position from all-time high last week. I was asleep and I didn't enter any shorts in these small little bounces, okay? So just to let you know, I'm no longer in any big positions. There has been some scalps going on that 𝗬𝗍𝘆 has provided in the pro community, guys. Nice little long positions that were just scalps, looking for movements of $500 to $1,000 very successfully from yesterday and also today. In the Legends Pro, you have researchers, good news, good information, technical analysis, and possible setups, guys. If you're interested in joining that, make sure to join us here on the first link in the Telegram community, okay? Let's break down here the different scenarios. Let's start off with the most bullish one, okay? And hear me out. I know the bears are going to go crazy here because, you know, there's a lot of people turning very, very bearish right now. We formed the double top and this is it, guys. You know, local top, and we do not know if this is the top of the bear of the bull market. And we're just going to start breaking down very aggressively throughout the next coming weeks and even months. Let's calm down. We are still in a bull market. This has just been a pullback from all-time high. However, the pullback could definitely be much larger. Okay, let's start off with a bullish case scenario. The most bullish one is this one right over here, which might seem, you know, pretty nuts at the moment, thinking that, come on, we formed a nasty double top, and I do not believe that we're going to form a higher low right there. It is still possible. We are holding the last Fibonacci retracement from the pivot low that we had at the beginning of August to the high here, and it can be counted as an impulse. This movement up can be counted as an impulse. That's it. For the moment, we have 3 waves to the downside, okay? 3 waves to the downside. We are hitting the 7/8 Fibonacci, which is bouncing here just slightly below 115K. That's where we're holding for the many hours. The bulls are really trying their best to maintain this bullish market structure. Now, of course, if this is going to be a multiple 1-2 setup, I mean, you know, it doesn't look that great at the moment, but overall, it's still possible. You have a massive 1-2, another smaller 1-2, and even another smaller 1-2. That's what you want to see in multiple 1-2 setups. Now, this needs to hold, and we need to reclaim certain levels, okay? Now, what level would be a confirmation for this? Well, I think it's relatively simple to understand. As we do have this momentum to the upside from last week, okay, then obviously what we formed is, for the moment, a very 3-wavy move down, okay? So if we do hold from here and we claim the last lower high at 118,500, that will be a significant bullish sign. That means that this 3-wave move to the downside unsuccessfully, you know, had continuation in a 3rd wave, right? Where we're actually breaking down in a 5-wave structure, which I'll be letting you know throughout the timestamps later on in this video. So we need to reclaim that last lower high from the weekend at $118,500 approximately for this to be a confirmation of a 3-wave structure. And then we can label this as another 1 and this a potential another 2 on the most bullish case scenario, okay? So that is one scenario, okay, that can be very much possible. Of course, the bullish case scenario, if we formed a higher low, we still possibly have the contracting diagonal where it's developed with 3-wave structures. You got a double zigzag here, a zigzag down here, another zigzag here, zigzag down here, and then this double zigzag to the upside, which would be the top, okay, for the bearish case, which I will be letting you know. But the bullish case would be that the 5th wave is not in yet of this ascending contracting diagonal. And you should be forming a 3-wave structure, okay? If we do count this as an impulse, which can be counted as an impulse, then this is the correction. And we got one more leg to the upside to hit all-time high to 128 or 132 and then get the big correction down. Now, it seems unreal right now because we did double top already, all right? And we are downtrending for the last few days. So it's kind of wishful thinking, right? That we are going to get supported here. This is why it is extremely important to claim the last lower high, despite if it's this scenario or the most bullish one, which is multiple 1-2s and getting the breakout in the next 1 to 2 weeks, okay? We need to claim the last lower high at $118,000, which is going to confirm that this is a 3-wave corrective structure. Then we could be confident that a new uptrend is going to happen to all-time high. So 118.5K is crucial to be hit. If that doesn't happen, then eventually we need to talk about the bearish case scenarios, right? Let's not, have that hopium. That's it, guys. Double top, potential contracting diagonal here, finished in the 5th wave with that double zigzag in the 5th wave. We're just going lower, okay? Now, there is another bullish case, but eventually it's after getting the breakdown, okay? If this were to be the scenario that is playing out, the top is in and we're going to lower levels, well, on the lower time frame, what we do have is the possibility of forming multiple 1-2s, okay? Which is this scenario right over here, where we formed your wave 1 here on the rejection, a complex sideways WXY, we formed a flat, then a zigzag down and a zigzag up, okay? And then you have your second wave 1 and 2, right? Your last lower high being yesterday. And now we're just looking for the breakdown. That third wave, we're waiting for that third wave to happen at some point in the next coming, days or maybe even hours, guys. This is a dangerous zone if you are feeling bullish and we are going to form a higher low. I'm no longer in any longs. I'm very much aware of the breakdown, okay? I don't want to jump into the short here at support, okay? So if you don't jump into a lower high, then obviously as we move down, it's dangerous to get into the short, okay? If you're not managing risk. But overall, I am aware of that breakdown, guys. It's very much a possibility where we form a 1-2, 1-2, and the third wave is cooking, guys, right? It could happen at any moment today, maybe tomorrow. And obviously we get that breakdown below 112K in that third wave, 4-5, 4-5, and we actually go to the mid 100K levels, okay? What is interesting about this scenario is when we do take a look at the higher time frame, right? And we zoom out, well, coming down to this zone, if we do not think about the contracting diagonal, which would eventually form your first wave down, potentially in an A wave or a 1 wave, we don't know, but obviously we will be expecting some kind of a bounce later on and then lower prices. I mean, this is information that we still need on the chart, but also there is the possibility if a contracting diagonal is not formed, we would be looking for the potential ABC flat scenario where the multiple 1-2 is still possible, where you have a wave 1, your wave 2 in a zigzag, your second wave 1, and here as you had a zigzag down and a possible double zigzag to the upside, well, a flat here is very much possible. And inside of the flat, your C wave is an impulse, which could be on the formation from the last few days with this multiple 1-2 setup. Now, of course, that will be looking aggressive. You'll be breaking down below 112K, going to the mid 100K levels, okay, the low 100K levels. And that's where people are going to say, okay, it's over. We're breaking down this trend line and, it's over. Well, we have massive support. If we are forming this impulsive move to the downside, there is the potential of this flat to form this 1-2, 1-2. And this area is where you come to this massive consolidation range. Now, when we do take a look at this consolidation, we do have the point of control, which is sitting around about $107,000, the highest volume node, right? And sweeping up these higher lows right over here, which would be perfect for that liquidity grab. It's looking at very interesting, this level. When you take into consideration the ABC flat, the common target is the 1.618 extension taken from your A wave to the top of your B wave. And when we reverse the Fibonacci extension, the 1.618 extension is sitting where we have that point of control, okay? So it's a very solid level, this $107,000 range, 106 worst case scenario, okay? Where we could be getting an epic bounce if we do get the breakdown. Of course, if we are looking for multiple 1-2s, you could break down in a third wave and create that choppiness in this massive zone of support. Now, also, levels to take into consideration when we're looking at 1.618 extension, the point of control, we do have the golden pocket from the pivot low of this range to all-time high. The golden pocket is also sitting the most respected Fibonacci retracement at the point of control and the 1.618 extension. So this zone at 106, 107K, if hit in the coming days, it's a zone where it's likely going to find support and you are going to get that consolidation or even those bounces to the upside, okay? Purely based on this bullish case scenario. Make sure to note that because it is a very interesting scenario that could develop, okay, on the most bullish side. Multiple 1-2, however, your second wave 2 is a flat, and this is the zone where you could be getting a nice bounce, guys, okay? Obviously, we could be consolidating, finding proof of support, and analyze if it is a good long opportunity if we get the breakdown. Now, other scenarios, of course, we do have the contracting diagonal, which is without a doubt very interesting because if this is a contracting diagonal, okay, we would be looking for a move down, bounce, and another move down, okay? You want to see some kind of a three-wave corrective structure here, an ABC or a complex WXY. We just don't know really. We need more information, but it could be a possibility that we actually go to lower levels in the next coming weeks entering into September, and the ABC flat on the 1-1-2 is not going to happen, right? It's, you know, it is a scenario. However, we need to realize that this bounce could reject down because a contracting diagonal finished could be a possibility, which means a larger move to the downside. So that's basically it, guys. Just breaking it down on the different scenarios. Major level of support. Okay, good support for the bulls to hold. The bears are in control, guys. We could be going to lower levels. For the bulls, like mentioned, we need to really get that bounce and reclaim the last lower high if we do want to believe that this is going to end up in this one right over here, where you have formed a zigzag to the downside, another zigzag up, and another zigzag to the downside. We really need to hold here the 7-8 Fibonacci maximum level, the 0.88, preferably not being hit at 113.4K. Okay, so this zone really needs to hold for the bulls. And if we do reclaim the last lower high, we can confirm that this is a three-wave structure, and then it will be looking very good for the bulls, and I will be very interested in looking for swing long positions. Not much more has to be said on this update. For the bulls, we need to hit this level. If we do not, then obviously we are looking for the bearish case, which is multiple 1-2s. We're just waiting for that third wave breakdown that could be developed in the next few hours or even few days, guys, okay? We could be getting that breakdown. So anybody that is very bullish on Bitcoin and you want to get into swing longs, we're going to bounce at some stage. This is a dangerous zone, okay, when you're using leverage, because the breakdown could be around the corner. Remember that if you are interested in trading, Bluffin has got an awesome deal down below in the description, okay? You can get 10% cash back on your deposit up to $3,000 and VIP1 or VIP2, depending on what you deposit, as you can see here, to significantly decrease your fees, guys, in your trading. It is the second link down below to join Bluffin. Thank you very much for joining today, and I will see you in the next one.